fan. We're bleeding blue with you. Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues! Let's go.
What are you wearing?
A Canadian tuxedo. And I'm a hockey player. Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues!
Presented by Scott Credit Union. Your St. Louis
BlueNote Fan Report. I hate when my wife gets in my chair. Oh, hello. Jason says, let's watch a retour. Or wait, I can't watch. Well, yeah, you get you some cable there, Jason. I don't want to make a bad joke about this. I want to be positive guy today. Sounds good. Roll in, rawhide. Welcome each and every one of you. Hello, Jason Nichols. You put that thumb in the air. You were number one in our hearts and in our minds, my friend. Okay, Shin with Bushnevich and Barbashev on the top line. Thomas with Cairo and Saad on the second line. Brown with Lebo and Blaze on the third line. And Walker with the Torpedo and Pitlick on the fourth line. Good afternoon. It is 2:32 here. After the cluster I saw on Tuesday, is what it is. Got a new stick today. I don't know what that means. Battlehawk game at 8 tonight. Thought the Battlehawks. That's weird. I'm surprised that they're playing tonight on a Thursday. I thought they would just play on Saturdays and Sundays. I guess that's the XFL for you. Rangers Review, long time no see. Us Ranger fans appreciate Tarasenko. Thank you. Tyler Ward. Well, Tyler, with all due respect, my friend, I love you to great. Kiss my tush. Right? I'm still upset over that trade. But I got to talk to Shaggy. I got to get a hold of Shaggy. I got to find out if he knows somebody in the Rangers organization that can help me get a press pass while they're here in St. Louis on the 6th. Oh, Bennington's, everyone who's banged on Bennington doesn't know hockey. He's been the best player on this team no matter what. No matter what. Right? No matter what. They only have 8 teams. Why they're having Thursday night football makes no sense. But hey, I'm listening to Blueberry. Oh, hockey stick. Okay, I wasn't sure what you were talking about. I don't know. Having Scandella back, that might help. He had an attempt, 2 blocks, 4 hits last game, 15 minutes on ice. That might help a little bit. Getting Bushnevich back helps. Getting Saad back helps. Playing a down team tonight helps. Right? I mean, Vancouver's a team just like St. Louis. This is 2 exact teams. These are 2 teams that should have been very, very high, should have been fighting for a cup, and instead they're in the Bedard sweepstakes. Oh, I'm sure you were. Where's my bobblehead? 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 I think Marianne knows what that means. Where are we at here? Ron Spink, Glorious Heaper, Ryan Green, Jason Nichols. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, well, you were supposed to pick me up one too. Send it to me. I expected to already have it. Oh, so if I can come home in April, I just found out that the place that I stayed at, I had heard that they'd had a fire, but they didn't. And in fact, what they did do is they got rid of some of the bad stuff that was around there. And they say that the area is a little bit better now. And if I come in April, they're going to work with me. So I have to look and see if it's possible, if they're going to be available. Yay, me. I really enjoyed that place. It was a fun train ride being in there. You're going to see Toronto get their butts whipped. I think we might actually win. We have a chance to win tonight, but it's not going to be. And the thing is if you win tonight, it's kind of going to cover up some of the things that are going on. Right? And I've said this since the O'Reilly trade, I didn't think we would win more than 5 games. And I honestly believe that. I do not see us winning more than 5 games the rest of the season. I see us being in the top 7 or 8. We're not going to slip better than that in the lottery, but it's not. It doesn't matter, you know. I don't think that we're going to be able to. I cannot see the Blues winning the lottery. I just don't. I really don't. I mean, stupider shits happen, but I just don't see it. I just don't see it. And that's me. Maybe there's somebody out there that's super optimistic that believes it's going to happen, you know, and that Bedard is going to come in and save the Blues. That's not. I don't think that's what this team needs, right? I would rather see, you know, when you look at, you got to remember what they did in 04, 05, 06, around that period, right? When they were really hurting and took them picks and combined them together, or took those picks and used them. You know, what was it? I think didn't we get, either got Steen and Tarasenko or Schwartz and Tarasenko in the same draft, like 2 picks apart, right? That's what I'd rather see. If you're going to move up like that, move up and use those picks to get guys that are really going to help the team and, you know, help you get to that level again. And again, you get to that level, don't lose it. That's the thing right now, that I don't think like this rebuild or retool or whatever you want to call it should have been happening. Right? I really don't. I think that in all of this, something got missed. And that's the thing for me. Right? What got missed? Why did it get missed? Why are we where we are? Okay. Actually, I said 5 wins in 28 games because it was 28. Since that, and that's what I think. Yep. I didn't hear about that trade yet. Where we at? I'm missing some stuff. Let me get up. Oh, you guys took a big jump on me. Hold on, guys. Where we at? Marianne, great picks. Hi, guy. We're going to right X. There we go. Toronto. Wendy's saying, "What's up, hey Wendy? How you doing?" But they didn't play that bad in the first period. They played well. They got lucky in the first period. It should have been in Mars. Do you see us getting men from the Sharks? No, I don't. I really don't. Can I ask a question without people thinking, no, you ask away, Marianne. Absolutely. They're going to win more than 5 games. You are saying they're going to have 65 points. Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Boston, Washington, yeah, the 3-round pick. No, that's old. That's gone now. They don't have they're not going to be able to trade him. They don't have the first-round picks. Mic issues. Want me to join the stream? Give me a moment, Wendy. I guess they want you to join in. Yes, we want you to ask your questions. Big night for St. Louis. Too bad I'm here. The second was the worst last game. The second been the worst almost every single game. All right, let me do this real quick. Hold on. Hold on, I'm working on it. Working on it. Pow. Pow. There we go. Pow. There we go. Done and done. Is a dunk and going to go for a first, and 4 teams may want 55 from reports. Possible. I don't know what to think anymore. No, after the playoffs, you don't get, you're not going to get anything. That I see what you're saying, but because the players with expiring contracts, you couldn't, it would be a Husso deal. You got a 3rd-round pick for Husso. If you'd have traded Husso at the deadline, you got a lot more for him. That's where that is. Panarin might want to play with Kane, but Kane might not want to play with Panarin. Right? Yeah, but that first round, I mean, you're getting the better of what we don't get. Right? And I don't know if one's going to take this. Right? Let's see. I got to invite Lance, see if Lance wants to come on. Oh, my goodness. Thank you, Ryan Green. I just seen your private message. I wasn't looking at private messages today. Thank you. Here we go. There we go. I know Ashley's trying to come on. Guys, I may just do intermissions today. Right? I may just do intermissions today. Yeah, I don't even know anymore. For the first of the hockey career, I walked out of a hockey game pissed beyond pissed. I could see that, Marianne. I saw a post from an Avalanche fan that thanked the player for scoring a point against us in the 2nd round and saying how scoring that 1 goal put us into a rebuild and how they appreciate that 1 goal. Yeah, no, that's just being a dick. There's been no chemistry all season, Marianne. It wasn't just before the trade. It's been all season, right? Maybe. but I don't think Krug goes. I really don't. I think that they like Krug more than you think. They like Colton more than you think. You know what, Mary? I have yeah, we knew you had a heart, my friend. Mary, that is up for debate. That is up for debate. I know how I feel. I think that trying to see who they got on right now. Yeah, you know, Mary, to me, I put it all on coaching. When your team loses chemistry like that, it's coaching. The soccer coach. Okay. Oh, okay, I see. I got it now. The city soccer coach. Hey, Nick.
What's up?
Guess who's sucking hard for Bedard?
Yeah, you guys aren't going to get him.
We got as good of a chance as you do.
We have a higher chance, so no, you guys don't.
I think I was looking at today. We've got like a 5.6% chance, and you got like a 7%.
We still have a higher chance, so
you're not getting him any more than we are. Hey, guy, I'm still trying to talking to go back to into coaching. He says he's too old. Talk to Doc. Ruby says this team has lost its identity. Well, it's the coach who sets the tone. I agree with that. Right? I put the majority of this on coaching right now. Right? Have you paid enough to say, yeah, I can put blame around or not?
I have no clue. I haven't really paid attention too much about St. Louis with how busy I am with how the Hawks are right now.
What do you mean? The Hawks suck.
They've been winning. And now with the trade deadline just a few days away, it's amping up.
Trade deadline's March 4th, I think.
Next Friday.
Next Friday, yeah. March 3rd or March 4th, something like that.
It's the
3rd. Let's see.
I hope he stays.
You think Kane's going to stay?
I honestly want him to stay.
Nick has his own issues in Chicago. The identity was Jim? No, I don't think the identity was Jim. I've heard that. I don't see it, man. Frank Cervelli, really, he's wrong about the exact amount of time that he's right. Right? A lot of times he posts stuff, and I think he just pulls it out of a hat to post it. Right? I mean, now he did get Tarasenko. He did nail Tarasenko. I will say that. He got that one dead on.
Mm-hmm.
But like the Timo Meier thing, he was the only one that put that out. Now with Tarasenko, he put it out, and then a couple people put it out referencing him, and then it got put out without referencing him. Then I knew it was. But with the Timo Meier thing, all I've seen is he put that out, and everybody else has referenced that.
I mean, with Silverelli, he has the credibility throughout the league, so that's one thing why some people are following it. There's some points where I don't trust Silverelli because he's been off on Chicago stuff quite a bit.
I did show him your question. Yeah, Nick, do you think Kane is going to stay in Chicago?
I want him to stay in Chicago. That's what I said.
Yeah, I know. That's what I thought, you know. Marianne said it's both the coach and the players are veterans. are not stepping up. What needs to be said, someone needs to open their mouth. You know what, Marianne? I disagree with this. Right? I have worked with bad bosses. And when you work with a bad boss, it doesn't matter who steps up. The bad boss destroys that. The bad boss won't let somebody step up. Not going to happen. Right? I mean, a bad boss would not. And that's, see, right there. Marianne's point right there is what me put more of this on Coach. Because we had the leadership that could have stepped up and changed this. But a bad coach is not going to allow that to happen. A bad leader is not going to allow, a bad leader won't allow it to happen. I've seen it in the Navy. Uh-oh, you're in trouble now, Wendy.
I don't know. I don't even know if you can hear me.
Oh, you're good.
Okay, I had to switch to my Beats, and I've never used them on my laptop before.
Oh, you're fine. They're working.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had that issue where I've tried figuring out the beats on a laptop. So
you're good. It's just we get a little bit of an, I don't want to say an echo, but like an open room sound.
I'm sorry, man. My headset quit working, so this is what I got.
Okay, no problem. Chris Shockey says, Jay, bad bosses leave you with no reason to try. See, I think Marianne really hit on something here. That it's both the coach and the players are veterans, and the players that are veterans are not stepping up. Needs to be said. Someone needs to open their mouth and give a crap. But the game with your leadership, the thing is, if you have a really bad boss, they're not going to allow that. They're going to squash that. They're going to squash that individual leadership. And I think that's exactly what we've saw. And look who's been traded. The vocal leaders, the vocal guys are the ones that have gotten traded. Right? What happens in a dictatorship? What's the first thing? If you get a dictator, somebody like that, what's the first thing they do? What's the very first thing they do? They get rid of, I'll let somebody say this. Huh?
They get rid of the opposition.
They get rid of somebody who could challenge them. Right? But what do? We got rid of all of that. Right? You get rid of the guy, you jail him or you remove him, the people that can go against you. Right? They make sure that and that's what I see happening with the Blues. When you look at who we've gotten rid of, you've gotten rid of some guys that can stand up, guys that were vocal. Right? And you've covered it saying, oh, no, we're doing a retool now. No, you have a mutiny, and your way of fixing the mutiny is get rid of the biggest mutiny problems.
I see your point.
Mm-hmm. Right? That's why I'm heavy on the coaching here. I'm so heavy on that. Uh-oh. I guess. They can't, Mary. That's the thing. They can't. You make it like these guys are so powerful that they can just go out there and do whatever they want. Tarasenko could. O'Reilly could. Shen could. Maybe Barbashev
can.
Huh?
You said Shen could. He can because he's still here for now.
Yeah, but he hasn't.
Actually, he has. He's been very vocal.
Mm-hmm. He's been very vocal. Oh, did you hear what Thomas did the other day? After the
no, I
didn't. He pulled an O'Reilly.
Oh.
Yep, all my fault. I have to be better. Okay, dude, you go be better. I was fine. You're telling me I'm fine, that you weren't good enough. My play was just fine. That's what you say when you say I instead of we.
But half of that is the upper, the coaching staff beating it into their head that you did this wrong, you did that wrong. They're making them feel like their individual effort wasn't good enough.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of it. It really is. I just see a team that has quit on the coach. And whether you like the coach or not, you know, you may think he's the greatest coach in the world. Windy, didn't Blackhawks quit on Quenneville?
No, they didn't. It was
Where
front
was he?
office.
Well, it was in Colorado. They quit on him.
That was It was Colorado who quit on him.
Yeah.
The front office in Chicago, basically, it was ego versus ego, and Stan Bowman versus Joel Quenneville. That's what caused the Coach Q situation.
Thomas isn't standing up to Berube. Thomas is 23. He's not going to stand up to Berube.
I think you're wrong about Thomas's age.
24 then.
I think he's 25, but I'll
Is he
double
25?
check.
24 or 25. I know he's still young. In fact, that's what they want to do. That's what Army wants to do. He wants to bring in 24 and 25-year-olds. Uh-oh, my internet again.
By the way, Chris, to answer your question about the CCM jet speeds, that's actually the type of skate I use. So, yeah, I use jet speeds.
Oh, did somebody ask a question about that?
Yeah, he asked about 5 minutes ago.
Oh, okay, I didn't see it. I don't think that was standing up saying the message was stale. I don't think that was standing up. I really don't, Jason. You know, Roland, I really don't want to, and I don't take this, I don't want to talk about the Battlehawks. I am not watching it. I'm going to focus on hockey. I don't know how much of the game I'm watching. I'm actually not going to do, I'm just going to come on in the intermissions today. I don't think I can handle trying to do, March is going to be great. March is going to be an absolute disappointment. He didn't call out the staff. He called out the head coach, but I don't know. Maybe, Jason. Maybe. Right? Where are we at? Have I got everybody's comments, at least enough of them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What are you expecting tonight, Ashley? Oh, her headphones are up. You guys got a game today, Nick?
Nope.
Nope. You played yesterday?
We played the last 2 nights.
Last 2 nights. Wins, I take it?
Yep.
Right.
They're on a 4-game win streak.
Craig Moss, Chris Shockey, Danny Johnson, Harrison Krieger, Brandon White, Justin Mullins, Roland Spinks, Gloria Seeper, 2 more that I can't see. Thank you for putting thumbs in the air. Jason Nichols was on them. I know that. Thank you for putting your thumbs in the air. We really, really appreciate it. I said I thought Thomas was going to end up being the captain, and I'm guessing, you know, the way he's, you know, the O'Reilly statement, you know, I have to be better. That just shows me that he's probably going to be the captain. Right? I'm almost dead certain. Teams are going with younger captains now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The majority of them have younger captains, or at least made them captains when they were younger.
Yeah, the Hawks named Jonathan Toews captain when he was only 19.
Yeah, there you go. Darkness. Shen is not going to be the captain. Right? Shen is not going to be the captain. I don't see that. I don't see it. In fact, Shen getting traded. I really could. If he starts getting vocal like that, I could see him getting traded.
I'm just wondering, would St. Louis consider a coaching change in the off season?
I don't think so. I think it's going to wait 1 more year, and when you've only got to pay him for 1 year instead of 2, they don't want to pay 2 coaches.
I mean, yeah, but it might be where it gets to a point they have to make the decision to fire him.
Well, because now that you said that you're in a rebuild, retool,
Mm-hmm.
the losing's going to hide the badness, right?
Yeah, but the fact is, he's not the right coach to go into a rebuild because of his ego.
I know that. I absolutely know that. But what was it that I think Armstrong said that I think he said, well, I thought he said that had a long conversation with Ruby over the summer, and but I got told he said he's going to have a long conversation with Booby. Got to find something positive. My positive is the guys are on the ice. That's it. We got a team on the ice. You know, the team's not in Saskatchewan. That's my positive. Right? That's my positive. Oh, I'm glad he's here. Shag, we only got a few minutes, but I want to throw this out to you, and you can talk to me offline if you have to. Do you know anybody in the New York Rangers organization that could possibly get me credentialed when they come in April?
It is impossible. I'm going to tell you right now. I try to get credentialed myself. I spoke to a couple people about this. MSG and Madison Square Garden in general is I see people are watching this, and I don't want people to get the idea that I hate them or that they're bad people. But the people in MSG are, let's just call it, hard heads when it comes to giving
well, the same way with the Blues. That's why I've got to ask you.
No,
for the
but
Rangers. I'm still trying to go home on April 6th.
I mean, when I was a podcaster, I wanted to work out, and I was trying to work out with the people in charge and in the company I was working for to go ahead and try to be going to games, even if it's like you can only go like 3 times a month or 4 or 5 times a month. I want to go to some games that I would love to be, even if it's not great seats or anything, just to watch it in person and maybe be able to get some media access afterwards to like maybe talk to a player for 10 seconds.
Yeah, the interviews,
or something, or even to just be sitting there by the interviews or something, so like I could take down notes or something. Yeah. But I wasn't even allowed to do that. In order to get that, you need to be a writer. You have to be like absolutely. Look, if you were credentialed by maybe the Blues and you asked the Blues to work things out to get you into MSG.
Oh no, that's the thing. The Blues
they
are
don't
the same way.
Podcasters as
there you go.
Media.
But guy, don't you write enough that you should be able to maybe get yourself?
I stopped writing.
So maybe go back to writing. Get yourself that might be a way to get yourself in.
Maybe, but they don't look at websites. They won't even let the hockey writers in.
Right. I mean, you have to work for a company. I mean, maybe speak to Inside the Rink. I mean, you could say that I write. Maybe start.
Well, I did. Well, I don't for Inside the Rink. They dropped me because I didn't write enough for them.
Oh, there you go.
I'd have to restart, but Inside they don't recognize websites like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually find that there's in most like normal worlds. If you want to just, if I was the one trying to figure out who comes as credentialed, I would just make it in which you put in your request for it, and maybe you have to meet somebody or on Zoom or something like that where they talk to you. And I would figure they should make like very strong rules, in that there's a lot more reporters at other sports than there is at hockey.
Well, they have there is one website or group here, Blues Buzzbog, whose father is connected to the team. They've allowed him to go in, and he went into an interview with Bennington, and his question was, "Dude, you're great. You're fucking awesome."
Yeah,
that's what he said in an interview.
Whatever.
Right, and that's the guy that gets credentialed.
You gotta also realize a guy who's able to say that in a meeting has to have freaking guts. Okay. Yeah. I would walk in there probably, and people would think I'm here for for something else. But Nick, you want to hand me Kane?
No. You want to hand us Lafreniere and Kako and your entire future?
No, because that's not going to happen because you guys have nobody else you'll be able to trade him to, and he'll just leave.
Well, Kane won't. Kane has other options.
Look, Nick,
be going to New York.
You're going to get the Tarasenko treatment.
Okay, guys, that's enough. No more Blackhawks talk on my show.
I mean, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this a lot.
Get Patrick Kane.
I don't see Kane going to the Rangers. The Rangers blew their load with Tarasenko.
And the BS the Rangers said about Kane 2 weeks ago, I don't think Kane wants to go there.
That's not true. Just the opposite. I could show you about 4 or 5 reports that Kane has not let down his want to come to New York, nor has New York shown any reason to want to show down on Kane. Let me explain to you why. In general, let's not talk Blackhawks hockey. Let's talk hockey. Yeah. In general, as you see in a lot of these trades that are happening recently, there's something called they're getting third teams involved to retain salary. You know, the Rangers could very easily tell a team, and possibly even a good team could tell them, look, we're going to send to the Blackhawks Kravtsov, Zach Jones, a first round pick or something like that, which is pretty good. And then they have a third, and then the Rangers will send the third team, like a third and a fourth round or something like that. Or they're going to send them some, who knows, maybe some other rookies that they feel like they could send. And they could send that to a different team, and that team will retain salary. Blackhawks will send some piece that they do not want to that team, and that team will hand you back like a first round pick, and they're going to retain Kane's salary for the Blackhawks, which means that the Blackhawks do not have to retain salary on Kane. It means that the Blackhawks only get back, and they will not lose a thing, because whatever they're going to send to the third team to get whatever they get back is absolutely worth it for the money, because that means you're getting rid of it. So let me explain to you something. As bad as it might seem to lose Kane or whatever it is, you're not going to get screwed. You're not going to get screwed, because they're going to have a third team involved, which means you don't get screwed.
Thing is, the Hawks actually do have to retain 50% to do anything, because
no, you can get a third team to do that. You get a third team to do that.
They can't, because the Hawks will be way under the salary cap floor if they don't retain 50%. That's the issue. The Hawks
they could retain. I'm wondering if they could retain 25 and someone else could retain 25.
It's still, the money does not work. The Hawks will.
Yeah,
still
look with O'Reilly. 75% O'Reilly's got retained. The Blues retained 50%, and then a 25% got retained by the Wild.
The Hawks aren't going to, like, they have the opposite cap problem. They're not going to make the cap like where they're supposed to be. They're going to be well under if they don't retain some salary.
Well, that's what I mean. But if his salary is still an issue, you can get that third team to take that 25%.
No.
That doesn't work that way.
The Blackhawks need to retain 50.
Look at the O'Reilly trade.
Okay, you're not understanding, Guy. They need to keep 50% or more, or they will not make it. Like, they'll be under.
So the most you can retain is 50%.
They need a crap salary.
Okay, hold on. We have two separate problems here. Problem one, the Hawks are, if they give up too much or if they don't retain any, they are at the salary floor. Problem two, the other team taking that big salary is going to be over the cap. So what the Rangers did with O'Reilly, or Toronto did with O'Reilly, Toronto did with O'Reilly. The Blues retained 50%. They were still over the cap. They got Minnesota retained 25% of that through a three-way trade. That could happen with Kane. So Chicago solves their problem, and the team he's going to solves their problem. That's what I was trying to get at.
Yes, but there's also the fact the Hawks will still be under the salary cap floor if they do make a trade of Patrick Kane.
1 second. First of all, there was a Vince Micogliano, who's a writer for the Rangers, wrote, and I'm just going to read it straight from him because he wrote it well. He wrote this, and Nick, you might argue you have probably a little more inside probably to the Blackhawks, but he wrote, getting Chicago to retain 50% of Kane's $10.5 million salary is the easy part. Then the Rangers would have to flip an additional asset to a third team to take on another 25%, and then they'd be left with a cap hit of $2.625 million. The problem is that the scenario they've planned is for $1.75 million. That leaves them close to $1 million short. Aside for trading a regular contributor from the current team, which according to him, he doesn't believe they're going to do, there's only one option. That's to commit to carrying a 21-man roster. So, yeesh. I mean, look, I would love Kane on that third line. I would love Kane on that third line, and that would absolutely be my that would be really cool to have him with on the second line, actually, with Panarin. I think that if it's going to happen, if this trade's going to happen, I think the Rangers will have to pull off more than one trade. What I mean by that is, I'm talking about possibly like ridiculous moves here to try to get him, like moves that reporters won't be talking about, or a guy like Vince Micogliano won't know about. I'm talking about things like somehow getting the Blackhawks to like to take away, like to cut Kane or to put him on. I have no clue how in the world they're going to do something. If they really want it to happen, they're going to work it out. Okay, it's the question of, and this is a general hockey question. Do the Rangers want to go ahead and focus their whole time on Patrick Kane, or do they want to say to themselves, "Well, Kraftsov's a good guy, and we have other rookies. Let's look at other options and stop with this." And that's going to be that's in general. Nick, how much would you go ahead to go push after getting the player you want, if after who knows how long it's just too much of a craziness that things can't be worked out? I'm not sure in the off season and in the past, I think with a lot of teams, you can notice. I remember the Rickard Rakell trade at the end of the deadline last year. That was just terribly managed, and it was too much hectic going on that things weren't working out, and that's what happens in general. So I think this is the same situation. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen quicker than later. If it's taking too long, it's not happening.
And the Hawks are in San Jose this Saturday. Kane's supposed to meet with Pat Bergeron this Saturday in person, and I feel like that's when the Blackhawks and the NHL will find out if Kane actually wants to leave, because there's still talk Kane does not want to leave Chicago.
Well, according to most people, Kravtsov, Zach Jones, and a second rounders automatically would have to go. And I think
they just made two really good saves on a odd man break.
You know, what's interesting about the Blues right now, I'll tell you something very funny, is that I almost feel like since they made these trades and stuff like that, as much as it's like, hey, there's a lot of anger and there's a lot of things going on around the Blues, I think it's slowly but surely you're going to start accepting the fact that you're going to rebuild, and your attitude to how to look at the game will change. I mean, you're going to start looking at things. I'm telling you, Guy, it may not be now. It could take you a while, but I think it's going to get there at some point.
I've never looked at a rebuild or a retool in a good light. I have never looked at it that way.
No, it's not good light.
Will.
I don't mean good light. I don't mean good light. Again, I mean you're going to start looking at games in a different way. You're not going to look at the game as, dude, we got to have Robert Thomas this and then why didn't he send that pass in this way? All right. You know what I mean? Dude, have you ever – oh, my gosh. You guys in your belts. You guys have
we had our belts out today. Okay, guys, game's on. So you know what? We're going to take it. I'm going to take a break here. If you want to come back at the intermission, come back at the intermission. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to pull out. I'm not going to do a
reaction
show today. I'm just going to kind of enjoy watching this game. So I will talk to you guys later. The longest stretch has gone without an interruption or game misconduct from Guy.
Actually, round of applause for Guy right there. Actually, I'm telling you. One second. I don't need Guy's machine right here. Let's go. No. Guy. You're giving yourself the hand of applause. You can't do that.
Guy, stop it.
Guy, don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't
you
touch
can't give
the button.
To yourself. Danny Johnson just wrote exactly what I was thinking, but we're not talking about that.
Okay, guys, we'll see you at the first intermission.
Somebody watch too much of The Office.
Okay, I'm back with less than a minute to go. Only one person watching. We'll see if more show up as the intermission hits. About a minute, less than a minute to go. Me and my pizza rolls and chip dip. Out top. I thought of something, and I think you guys might like this. How many of you remember the Arsenio Hall show? Right? How many of you guys remember the Arsenio Hall show? Right? He had a thing on the Arsenio Hall section, things that make you go, I have something to make you go, And as more people pop in, we'll talk about it. I think you're going to like this. And at the end of one, it is 1-0 St. Louis on a short end and goal by the torpedo, Alexei Torpachenko. I don't have the stats up. I got to pull them up here in a second. See how many people show up, if anybody shows up. A Vogel, the Guy Bensing the Guy Bensing turd of a team. We're outshot by everybody, Shockey. Does that surprise you? Does that absolutely surprise you? Mark Helton. Oh, I haven't seen him in a while. Russ Tidlin, how you doing, bud? Thanks for the thumbs in the air. Oh, excuse me. I'm trying to do too many things at one time here. I'm pulling up the stats, and the stats aren't working today. Yep. No stats today, at least at the moment. Yes, I am live, bud. Back live. So, I said this earlier tonight, and only a few people were here. Let's see now that more showing up. How many of you guys remember Arsenio Hall, the Arsenio Hall show? He had a segment called Things That Make You Go, I have a thing to make you go, So, we challenged a play for goaltender interference. Goaltender interference in and of itself is a penalty. So, when a team challenges for goaltender interference, and it is goaltender interference, shouldn't there be a penalty for goaltender interference? Things that make you go, I wish Shaggy was here for that one. Right? If you challenge for goaltender interference, and it is goaltender interference, they should get a penalty for that. Right? The goal comes off the board and they go on a penalty. I mean, you're gonna give the team a penalty if they're wrong. Why not give them a penalty? Not give the other team a penalty if they're right? Ashley, did you hear what I said?
No, I was getting on.
You remember I'll say it again. Do you remember the Arsenio Hall show?
Mm-hmm.
You remember his segment? He used to have things that make you go,
Mm-hmm.
I have one. Goaltender interference in and of itself is a penalty. So if a team challenges a goal for goaltender interference and the league says that it is goaltender interference, shouldn't the team get a penalty?
I mean, I would say yes, or it should negate a penalty that's,
Yeah, well, the
Pending.
torpedo puts it in. Oh, Matt Lowe's back. I thought he was still mad at me and wasn't coming back anymore.
Hey, Matt, it's good to see you, buddy.
Yeah. Matt and Bob Morton were both pretty upset with me. And I get it.
I
Hold
saw.
on. I'm going to address that a little bit now that he's here. Here the other night. Look. First of all, I know that I do take a lot of things personally, and I try not to. One thing that I want you guys to know, the other watchers, if someone is having an argument with me, I want you guys to step out. Let that be between us, and I don't want you guys commenting on it. Because some of the comments that were made against Bob and Matt Lowe were not correct, were not right. And I want everybody to understand that. Well, it's not 1-1. Well, if the goal would have stood, it wouldn't have been 1-1 because we weren't getting a shorty from the torpedo. Right? Talking about torpedoes, here you go. Since I can't get the stats up, do you know during World War II that our torpedoes wouldn't work?
No, I didn't know that.
Yes, our torpedoes didn't work. The reason that our torpedoes didn't work was the fuse was too thick.
Oh, really?
And through some testing, some submarine testing, they figured that out. They ended up by accidentally using a very, very thin fuse, and every time they used that fuse, torpedo went off. So this time, our torpedo had, instead of him having a thick fuse, had a thin fuse, and there you go. That was a pretty goal by him too.
It really was.
Yeah,
and I mean Booth's setup was great.
He actually could have gotten they could have called a penalty the other way on that. They could have called the penalty the other way on that. The way he handles that out. Kenny Johnson, too thick. Yeah, the things you learn on the Blue Note Fan Report. Good game so far. I mean, that's two bad teams. Well, it's two poorly playing teams, because I don't think the Blues are a bad team. I don't think Vancouver. Well, Vancouver is now, and the Blues are now, but I don't think they were at the beginning of the season. I think both teams are playing very, very poorly.
I don't think that they're as bad as they're playing. We'll put it that way.
Yeah. I'm trying to get the stats up, but my internet has been just absolute junk here lately.
I hear you. Mine was cut off yesterday, and we had to fight to get it back on, and fun times.
Yeah. How wasn't the slash not called against Car? Yeah, that's the officiating in the NHL has gotten worse and worse and worse. Now, look, I know that there's some things that you can't call all the time. I get that. But when a guy has to go back to the bench and put ice on his hand, obviously he got slashed. You know, and it was hard enough that he's got to go put ice on his hand. There's an issue, right? There was an issue with that. I can't see the stats, guys, so I'm not. They're not coming up at all.
I'll see if I can pull at least the NHL website up.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the ones that I read from the NHL, the media site.
Yeah, I can't get the media site, but I can try the.
Oh, did you wish Scandella a happy birthday yesterday?
No, but somebody else did.
Ryan Green, I have GERD. It would not take much for me to fart into a mic.
Oh my goodness. This is where we're going to go today, huh?
Yep.
Farting in a mic. Oh, boy.
Me and Ryan, I've talked about Ryan last show, right? How he messages me a lot and, offline and that. And I kind of told him, I said, look, man, I know what you're doing and I appreciate it, but there are times I wish you would read me before you did it.
Yeah.
Right? And he goes, well, yeah, I kind of changed my name before I knew you were in a bad mood, and I'm sorry about that, but you're still an asshole, or a jackass. So, but he's a good guy, and I appreciate him. We need to switch up the first power play unit. Matt Lowe, I agree with you there. The first power play unit is just not getting it done. They're discombobulated. They are confused. They don't know what they're doing. This whole team, the coaching staff, whatever the coaching staff is telling this team has got. This reminds me of when we had Yo and Hitchcock.
Yeah.
And Yo
can we have a timeout? I'm going to read the stats now.
Yeah, go.
Okay. So right now, Vancouver is 0 for 2 on the power play. The Blues are 0 for 1, but they do have a shorty. Vancouver has 2 penalty minutes to our 4. They have won 43% of the face-off, and we've won 57. Block shots 5 for Vancouver, 4 for us. Takeaways 2 for Vancouver, 3 for us. We have given away the puck 7 times to their 0, and we are winning the hits 7-4.
What about shots?
Shots are 14 for Vancouver, 6 for us.
6 frickin' shots. That's all we got. 6 shots.
Yeah, but the percentage of the ones that go in is a lot better for us.
Yeah, I will say that.
So I'll take it.
Crap, I just closed the NHL media site. Yay me.
Well, it happens. Did I just close?
They got a 17-year-old kid that's playing for City Soccer from St. Louis.
Oh, really? Yes, Ryan, I'm aware. Sometimes that strange man behind me.
Yeah,
comes around.
I seen that. I wanted to say something, but I decided it was probably not in my best interest.
Probably.
There's a lot of things that aren't in my best interest that I do anyway, so.
Yeah, I guess he sent me a text and I haven't looked at my phone because it's over there charging.
Yeah, well, I would ignore his text too, so that's just me. I don't know why this is not working today. Oh, well. Let's see. I didn't see them doing bad, but again, it's Vancouver. Maybe they're making us look decent. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of, that was going to do. I do text you, Ryan. You're full of shit. You're absolutely full of it. Tell him, Ashley, he's full of it.
No, but Michael Edwards has a good point here, a good question. Do you think that Chief is kind of micromanaging this team? O'Reilly is getting to play the game he wants to and is killing it. And no, Danny, I only watch hockey, man.
Does that answer your question? Does that answer that question?
I think it does.
Yeah, no, I'm not watching the Battlehawks either. I've got the hockey game on. I will not do much. I will go on to the post game. I will only do about a 10-minute post game, if that. I want to get back out and drive. I need to try and get 14 orders in before 4:00 in the morning to get a $75 bonus.
He needs his money, y'all.
Yep, got to get home.
Mm-hmm. If he didn't break his wrist.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be able to get out of the neutral zone to help him score that goal.
No, you'd probably fall flat on your face and break your wrist again. Just trying to get onto the ice.
Yep, I seen little Miss Leia.
Mm-hmm.
Bring her over here. Call her over.
No, she's left. It's fine.
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
I love playing that for her. I play it every game, just so you know.
I know. I try it.
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Yeah, come here. Oh, we've got an ice cream scoop. We're hitting ourselves in the head with an ice cream scoop.
Yeah, I just seen her whack herself in the head. Tell her I do that. I do that on my own. And I do that too. I whack myself in my head all the time. So there we go.
Nope, she don't want to come. Sorry.
Dollar bill, y'all. I have.
Will you stop hitting yourself in the
It says
head?
there are more people clapping in your audio. Yep. More than actually 19 watching today. Wow. And we got 16. Brad Pond, Michael Edwards, Aaron Coulter, Tammy Pemberton, Mark Helton, Russ Tildard, Craig Moyes, Chris Shockey, and Danny Johnson, Erickson Krieger, and 6 more. Thank you. Well, let's see, 10:30. I think it's 12:30 Saturday because it's 10:30 my time. No, 2:30 Saturday because it's 3 o'clock Saturday, something like that. I think I got to be on at 10:30 or 10, something like that. You know what? Right now, Hoffman would be one of the best players on our lineup.
I don't know. Montreal isn't doing too well with him.
Well, the Montreal's nobody around him. Neither do we. I mean, we got Thomas and Kyrou.
And Vooch. You can't forget about Vooch.
Yeah. What's the half-life of a dead smoke
I mean, I guess it's going on 7 or 8 months. And it's still going. And I'm still not changing it.
The bad thing is I don't hear it.
Well, because you're so used to it.
Attempts are 21-12. Chances are 5-1, both in favor of Vancouver. Spot shots are 7-1 in favor of Vancouver. Offensive possession time 246-229 in favor of us. Second period has been our worst period. Can they do? I just wanted to come out of this period even. Come out even, so that way you're leading the game.
Mm-hmm.
Come out even, you're leading the game. That's what's important. Shaggy and Wendy had a good little conversation going. I kept my mouth shut.
I know. I was really proud of you. I enjoyed the hockey talk.
I didn't understand what they were saying. I don't think people understood what I was saying. It wasn't Chicago's issue. It was the other team's issue of being over the cap. That's where that third party came in.
No.
The
issue is that Chicago would be under the floor.
Yes.
They can't.
So they have to retain 50. But even with retaining 50, because his contract is so big, the team getting him would still be over.
Yeah, but what Shaggy was trying to say is, Chicago doesn't have to retain 50. They can retain 25, and this other team can retain. And so Shaggy was off too. I'm sorry, Bob. I'm not changing it. I'm 5'4". He's 5'9". He can do it.
No, that's not a silent battle. It's an absolute, loud one. This one is I'm not doing it, and I'm not doing it either.
Mm-hmm. We're both stubborn.
Yeah, so there you go. One day you're going to see one of her kids get up there and change it.
They still can't reach it. I don't even think they hear it anymore. We just got used to it.
Yeah. No, I had that issue in my apartment in my old apartment, and the problem with my old apartment is it was hardwired.
Mm-hmm.
So even when you changed the battery, it still did it. It had to reset. You had to completely reset the detectors, and to do that, you had to reset all of them, and you basically needed an electrician to do it. So, yeah. Second period's coming up. Ashley, what are you looking for in this second period? Who are you looking to bust out, or what's taking your thing?
I really want to see more from Vooch. I really liked the shorthanded goal that he helped create. He's been out for a few games. I want to see him continue to make plays.
Right.
Yes, Lance, you are correct. He would be a better option than what we have, but he is still not really being productive over in Montreal either.
Yeah, but he does. I think I can't believe Montgomery leaving hurt us as bad. I know it did.
I can.
It just doesn't.
It just shows who they were listening to.
Yeah, offensively they were absolutely, and it also shows that offensively we don't have the right voice in that room offensively.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and that's a huge issue. Right, and you've got two coaches that just got brand new contracts.
Mm-hmm.
Right, now I know that McTavish's contract's nowhere near, but and it would be really bad to fire a guy in the first year when it's really not his fault.
Yeah.
McTavish is the guy that needs to go because you need a head coach, you need an assistant coach with an offensive mind. You need an assistant coach the best ships I was ever on is when the XO and the CO clashed.
Mm-hmm.
XO and the CO, when the XO was one type and or the CO was one type and the XO was a different type, it balanced it, and it really did help with the ship. It really
But
did.
is that clashing or is that complementing?
No, and a lot of times it's clashing. It's clashing, right? Okay, game's back on. See you at the second intermission, guys. welcome to the National, Tyler Tucker. Well, maybe not. Yeah, I'm back now. I'm back. I'll try and do a little bit of the stuff now. It looks like they're going to challenge something. Damn it. That wasn't good. What are you challenging that for? That's nowhere near. So they're saying there was a high stick before the goal was scored. Let's see. We had one like this pulled away earlier. Oh, he didn't touch it. I don't think he touched it. That puck didn't change direction. I don't think he touched it. Yeah, that's not. I don't think you got to watch. Oh, that one's gonna. I think that's gonna stand. We may end up on a power play. I think this is gonna stand. To me, this is gonna stand. You can't see that puck change direction. I don't know if he hit it with the stick. I think this is going to stand. I really do. Yeah. Yeah, see, that's what I thought. Tucker, welcome to the National. So that means we're on a power play. Should put us on a power play, because watch. I don't know if he touched that puck. I don't think it was. Yeah, I think I was a good call. Yep, there we go. We get the penalty. Yeah, they got to go get the puck for him. Way to go, Tyler Tucker. Tucker. Yeah, most people don't know that I'm still doing this, so there's only 3 of you watching, but thank you. Chris Shockey's here. Hey, Shock. Hey, Johnson. Yeah, see, that's what I saw. I didn't see the spin change, right? I think he missed it, and then he turned around because it didn't seem like that, right? I really did think that, that's what I was looking for. Did that puck change direction or change something, and it didn't to me. So that's why you couldn't overturn that. You didn't. There was no direct evidence that he actually touched it. Did the puck make contact? I don't think the puck made contact. They've been so terrible on special teams this year. I mean, that just shows you what Montgomery meant to this. Nobody there. Nobody where they need to be. Nobody right. And look at where Vancouver is. They've got everybody's in front of the net because they know no one's got a danger enough shot for them to come out. Chris David should have shot that. There was a wide open goal. Wide open goal. Thomas is in the wrong spot. He's too high. Or too low. Thomas was way too low. He should have been up. He should have been up closer to the center face-off dot. Oh, we go. Here we go. Oh, what a save by Bennington. Wow. That's my goalie. Wow. Not today, sir. Not today. Not today. No, not today. Yeah, I'm with you, Shock. He's got to. Well, Thomas was more the issue on that power play. He was way too low. Right, he was down around the goal line. I mean, all those times he got his puck, he was down around the goal line. He needed to be higher up, closer to the face-off dot. Or Tubo, who's that? On Tubo, I don't know who that is. Okay, there you go. Oh, I remember now. No, 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 no. He did that really good commercial. Oh, Missouri football team's here. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. With the finger. I know who you're talking about now. Bennington was, I mean, that was just solid by Bennington. What? Everyone who sits there and says that he's out of position all the time, I mean, that was perfect. I remember who you're talking about. No, 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 no. Yeah, and what you sent me, Chris, is exactly what I was thinking of, the commercial. I was thinking of that. You sent it to me. Thank you. Sent Lance a link. I don't know why. I guess he couldn't come on today. I tried to make it big and I can't. Maybe I can try this. Nice play by Bortuzzo there. I'm looking for something. I don't see it now. Okay, never mind. Da 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 da. Here we go. There it is. Ryan O'Hattie, I like that. And I'm just hitting the wrong button. Clicking the wrong things all day long. He tried to jam it in, and Bennington said, "No, no, 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 no." No. There you go, Chris. There you go, bud. Commercial, commercial, commercial. Poor soul. Blues fan from England. I wonder if it's one of mine. Because I know I got a couple of fans from England. Hey, na, na, na. Hey, na, na, na. Hey, 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 F you. Hey, na, na, na. Hey, na, na, na. Hey, na, na, na. F you. Shots are 22-12. I mean, well, at least you're leading them where it counts. My for some reason the NHL site that I use is not working. Try one other thing. It's not working at all. I tried. It ain't working. Nothing I can do about it. Thank you for watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks to all those people that put their thumbs in the air, including me. I did it. I'll tell you what. I thought about doing something for the rest of the season. If you have a business that you can tell businesses are free. If you know somebody owns a business, I will advertise them, give them free advertising on my show, as long as they put something on their website that says they support the Blue Note Fan Report. Right? So free advertisement. If you know somebody, it's a way to get the word out. So there you go. Maybe I would love to get a number one for Barbie. I'd love to get a number. I'll tell you, I want to get a number one for Parayko. I don't think you will. My problem with Parayko, my absolute problem with Parayko is the chance that you're going to have to take on a worse contract. Right? Tucker may turn out to be a really good defenseman. I wasn't sure, but it's starting to look that way. But I also think that Tucker is a RFA or a UFA this season. Torpachenko lost the handle. Oh, there, all over Torpachenko and no support. No support whatsoever. Yeah, Tucker's an RFA, so he's going to cost us a little bit, but not much. Our defense is set, man. Our defense is absolutely set. Especially with Prunovich coming back shortly. Right, when Prunovich comes back shortly, Tucker's got to get sent back down. Because you don't have to waive him. He will go back down. Oh, there was a nice pass in the neutral zone for a change. Dodd should be off injured reserve because he's back. I'm trying to get the stats boards, just is not coming up today. It wasn't working the other day either. Barbashev to the box. Oh no, he's in the sin bin. Barbie, hey now, you aren't partying. Hey, let me get some tea. I'll be right back. Stand by, just stand by, just stand by. Bennington, 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 Bennington. Oh, I just lost my video. Hold on, trying to get it restarted. Good save by Bennington. Shockey just sent me that Boston Bruins trade, and they did exactly what the Blues did. This is something I think you're going to see more of, where a third team gets involved and they retain 25% of that salary. And Bennington's been sharp. He's the guy that is that's showing you. I'll tell you what, if anybody's trying to get traded, it's Bennington. He is playing lights out, saying, please trade me. Please, somebody ask about me. Bennington's just been amazing tonight. Shots 25-13 in favor of Vancouver. Yeah, that's not. I cannot get that going at all. I'll have to pull it up this way. Da 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 da. We are watching the BlueNote Fan Report. You're watching the BlueNote Fan Report. BlueNote Fan Report. Razor sharp. He's been playing out of his mind. Torpachenko and Tucker are rookies. Well, Torpachenko's not technically a rookie. But we'll go over shots in that in a little. The Blues were outshot 11-7 in that period, 25-13 total. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. Struggling. We're all struggling. Where we at? Okay, who's here? Am I frozen? Am I frozen? Am I frozen? I think I'm frozen. I'm frozen. Frozen. No! Okay, I'm back. I was frozen for a second. Oh, you could hear me. That was probably funny. Oh, my goodness. Oh, what a period, Ash.
Yeah, that was fun.
We won a second period for a change. Now, I got to tell you something. I mean, I don't blame the Canucks for challenging that. However, if you watch that puck, it never changes direction.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That spin that's there, if it hits the stick, it's going to change its spin, going to change direction, it's going to change something. And even then, where he hit that, with him coming down, if he had hit it, and I don't think he did, but it was close. So I get why they challenged it. But again, right now, our power play is so bad, I challenge everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, our power play is just plain bad. But overall, not a bad period. Uh-oh, we're in trouble now.
Not in trouble. Just gonna have fun.
I don't think we're going to get video, though.
It's all right.
No video, bud?
No, not
Okay.
tonight.
Well, what do you got to say, Lance? I'm turning the floor over to you, buddy. I'm letting you take over the show for the rest of this intermission.
You know, I know you guys have talked about it and haven't been able to be on the show, but you know, everybody's talking about outside of Toronto, outside of any other city but St. Louis, how the Blues got fleeced with Ryan O'Reilly. And I'm going to tell you something. The Blues fans really need to look at that trade. They got some two guys that really weren't in the future plans for Toronto. The draft picks, yeah, you know, it's great to get draft picks, but draft picks are so iffy. I mean, even guys in top 10, there's so many guys in the last 10 years that were drafted in the top 10 that either had short NHL careers, had careers that were okay, you know, not great, but okay, or they never even played in the NHL. I like getting draft picks if you're going to use them to trade for another player, and maybe that's what Armstrong's going to do. You know, everybody keeps talking about Timo Meier. Timo Meier is going to cost too much. He wants more of a raise than he's due to get because he's an RFA. And, you know, he's due somewhere around, I think he's making 6.5, something like that. So he's due about a $600,000 to $700,000 raise. He's going to probably want more than that. The team that gets him is probably going to want to tie him up because of his age. I think he's 26 years old.
Yeah, he is.
And I don't want him on the Blues. I really don't think he's the answer. He's not a guy. He's a piece, but he's not a guy that can come in and really make a difference on your team. And, you know, I like him as a player, but I just don't. I don't think San Jose is going to budge on their asking price. And, you know, they're already asking 5 or 6 pieces for Carlson, which they're not going to get. I mean, anybody that gives him, I think Carlson knew this was his year. He was probably going to be traded, and he's having one of his best years in a long time. But, you know, I'm sad to see O'Reilly and Tarasenko go, but I understand why they went. I think Doug could have gotten more for Tarasenko last year. In fact, I know he was offered a better package by the Islanders last year, and he turned it down. And I know that Tarasenko had the Islanders on his trade list. So I think Armstrong outsmarted himself on this one. I think if he'd have traded Tarasenko earlier, he would have gotten more for him.
I still ask, why do we even trade Tarasenko? You know, I brought this up early. First of all, 2 things. I want to cover 2 things. You said about the 2 guys that we got. First of all, I don't think I'm looking right now. Are either one of those guys really NHL players? I don't know.
When you're talking about Gaudette, he's kind of a journeyman guy. He's a guy. That's what he is. Nothing special. The other
he's
guy,
a 4th-line player.
Yeah, but a fringe 4th-line player, which we seem to talk a lot about the Blues here.
Yeah.
There's every time we talk about a lot of Blues players, we think that they're 4th-line or 4th-line fringe players. You know, I just it's frustrating for me to see this team the way it happened and went down. But I think we all knew, at least I did, and I think most of us knew. I think Guy was hoping it wasn't true.
Yeah.
That the Blues really had no intention ever of re-signing Tarasenko.
And that's my issue there.
Yeah.
This is where I keep talking about my issue with the coach, right? And I brought this up earlier, and I think that look at the look on Ashley's face. But
no, I was looking at the TV.
Okay, I brought this up earlier where I said, look, what does a dictator do? Or what is you get rid of the ones that challenge you. that could challenge you. And I think that's what happened here. I think Berube, got challenged by O'Reilly, got challenged by Tarasenko, and they traded him. What message is that sending to this locker room? It's my way or the highway. And I don't think that's the right message, especially in a rebuild or a retool.
Well,
I don't think that's the right message. I really think that Armstrong, by being too proud to admit that he made a mistake, may have hamstrung this team for 3 to 5 years.
And I also think, and you and I have talked about Perron, and I don't want to bring him up, but I think I have to in this situation. I think there's more to it than the Blues. The offer that they did give him. Yes, they did give him an offer, regardless of what he says. But I will tell you, from what I know, he did not get along really well with Coach Berube. So
I'm pretty sure.
I think when you look at who's been moved, because I think a lot of us thought, I said it was possible that both of them could be gone back in November or December, but I think a lot of us thought that one of them might get a shorter term contract, to come back. And you and I had talked about it, and I know everybody loves O'Reilly, but you and I agreed that if you're going to bring back one of them on a team-friendly deal for a short contract, it better be Tarasenko.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the thing. This is the thing that I think everybody missed. Tarasenko would have signed a contract here. Now, everyone is keying on what he said. He said, I was never going to re-sign in St. Louis. They didn't even offer me a contract. That's not what's important. Everyone's keying on that. What you have to listen to is what he said before that. What he said before that was, I don't like change. I like things to stay the way they were. I would have rather they not changed. Right there. He would have signed a contract in St. Louis in a heartbeat if he was offered one. They would have negotiated.
Yeah,
and that's what I think that everyone misses.
Yeah, and I want to get back to Berube and move on from that. But I've said it time and time again. You guys have heard me say it. Good GMs, good coaches put their players in positions to win. Number one, number two. He keeps saying this team's lost their identity. Well, dang it! Look in the mirror. Where do teams get their identities from, Guy and Ashley? The coach.
Mm-hmm.
So if the team has lost the identity, whose fault is that?
Yeah. Now, actually, I want to ask you this, because I know for the most part you've been on the players' side of this. This is more on the players than the coach. I know that. I mean,
no, I've been more. It's equally distributed.
Okay. Well, for me, I even talked about this. I said it was 20% on Armstrong, 30% on the players, and 50% on Berube. But I have Matt Lowe and Bob Morton, who have put this almost, I'd say, not completely on the players, but heavily on the players. And I bring in the bad boss thing, boss situation.
Real quick, and I'll let you finish. I'm sorry, I wanted to bring this up. Since my stroke, I forget. Yeah. If I don't bring them up, I'll forget. One thing you got to look at. Let's say, okay, the players quit. They just quit on him. And for no rhyme or reason, let's just say that. You start having all these all these injuries, okay? You bring up new guys that haven't had a lot of ice time. New guys come in, but you're getting the same results. If it's the players, when you brought new guys in, guys from the AHL who are hungry to stay, you're going to get better results. And they haven't really, the guys have played good and played the best they can when they've come up. But it doesn't matter who's on this team this year. This team plays the same way. And when you see that, it's got to be mainly the coach.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not that I'm not seeing the coach. I think that we're missing an aspect when you're saying that anyways. It's 30, 30, 30, and 10. 30 for the players, 30 for Berube, 30 for Armstrong, and 10 for the rest of the coaching staff. I see it a pretty evenly distributed blame game. You can put it on.
Again, for me, to say it's evenly distributed, that's the problem I have, because I see the players. First of all, here's the telling thing. Remember the 3-game win streak we had right after Tarasenko got traded?
Mhm.
Right? Jeremy Rutherford, and yes, I'm not a fan of most of the Blues, most of them. Jeremy Rutherford brought out an article about how Berube changed up the defense and the play, the offense and the play for those 3 games. Went to that third forward high, right? The 2-1-2 or 2-3. And we were winning. But right there, that's not the first time he had done that. He had done that a couple of games earlier in the season where we had won. But every time we had won, the next game or a game later, they took it, he went right back to the old thing. So here it is, you're seeing something that works, yet you go back into something that doesn't. Right there, to me, that's like screaming, coach issue, coach issue, coach issue.
You know, I understand what Ashley's saying. I think Ashley's coming up with her numbers based on this, and you know, tell me if I'm wrong, Ashley. You know, yeah, players can give up on a coach, but these are still guys with you know, big hearts. These are guys that want to win. These are guys that want to get on the ice and play. And I think Ashley's saying that, you know, they have responsibility to play no matter what. So some of it can be on them. And is that what you're kind of getting at, Ashley?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'm putting 30% on the players. I'm just putting a heavier weight on the coaching staff. See, you're putting that 10. I would say it would be for me, it would be 40-10. Right? I'm not putting as much weight on Armstrong. I don't think Armstrong did anything.
Absolutely am putting a lot of weight on Armstrong. I think that he's somebody that isn't getting as much attention for the blame on this, but it is. He constructed
maybe not from the media, but from the fan base he is.
He constructed this team that clashes with the coach.
Yep,
he has a defensive-minded coach. So Armstrong needs to have equal blame as Berube and as the player.
Here's my thing. Here's where I come in at. Look at last season. Look how offensive this team was. Look at how offensive this team was. This coach snowed Armstrong into thinking that he would coach offensively, and as soon as he got this team, he went right back to being a defensive coach. That's how I see it. I could be wrong.
And then, even if you are wrong, or even if you're right, that was Armstrong being stupid. So it would still go to him being blamed. So, I mean,
him signing Berube. Him signing
Parayko to such a long deal. Him signing, you know, Krug and all of them for that was stupid, and it has to be looked at.
Hey, Shockey, if you guys got an opening in that league next season, let me know. I want to get in on it, man. I do see that. I do see some of that.
And I have to separate McTavish and all of them from Berube because I feel like Berube's had a history there. McTavish is new. He can't be to blame for a lot of it, but he is partially to blame. We went from having one of the best, you know, specialty teams to now we're in the bottom.
And I would and to cut that down even more, Ashley, I put more blame on Van Ryn and Ott than I do him.
Exactly, and that's where that 10% comes from.
Yeah.
My issue now, see, the blame on McTavish is hard for me, right? And it's not that it's McTavish to blame; it's that McTavish isn't the right guy for that position, right? And I don't know who hires the coach. I don't know if Berube hires his assistants or if Armstrong hires the assistants. It's different team to team.
Berube hires his assistants. I do know in the past that he sat down with Armstrong and discussed it, but ultimately it's Berube's decision.
Okay, then right there, Berube should have known that he needed a coach like Montgomery, and a coach with an offensive mind. Balance his defense, and he brought in another defensive coach.
Yeah. And
because he didn't want someone to say something differently than him. He didn't want that conflict. He wants to be the number one guy, the only one that's got something to say.
And see, that right there, your statement right there is why I put 50% of the blame on Berube. That statement right there, because a good leader, a solid leader, a leader that's going to be, take men into the foxholes, knows that he needs to hear it all. He needs to hear the good and the bad to make the right decisions. He needs to be balanced. And to say, if that's the case, what you said right there is why I put fifth so much on Berube.
No, that's just how people go with certain power. Like when you're given a certain amount of power, you want to be in control.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like to talk politics, but you can look at our political system. They're both fighting to have more control. It's just human nature.
Hey, and Guy, I told you, and I didn't think he would be this good, but I thought he would make the Bruins better. Remember me telling you both that they're
I do.
They're going to miss Montgomery. And, you know, a lot of people, I think knowing his personality from people that know him, that I know, when he was in Dallas, he's one of those guys that is kind of a balancing act. And he knows how, you know, like I said earlier, you got to treat players differently. Not all of them can play well when you jump onto him. That's not the motivation they need. Montgomery was kind of that buffer. You know, Berube's kind of hard-nosed. Montgomery was more of what you would call a player's coach, but he can be hard-nosed. But it's kind of like a yin and a yang. You need that in your coaching staff.
I agree.
I see Montgomery more like, I usually joke that I'm a social chameleon because I can, you know, interact with different types of people. You know, it doesn't bother me. He is that for coaching. He can be a player's coach, but he can also be hard, and he can give you what you need in each situation. That's why Montgomery's so good.
I would agree.
Well, here's, you know, the thing that I look at too, if, you know, you want to do a retool / rebuild, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
I question, and I'm going to keep this question, is Berube the right? And I remember I wrote, beginning of the 2021 season, the shortened season.
Yep.
I wrote that article, is Berube the right coach for this team?
I remember it.
And I brought up, you know, you have a young group that needs to be offensive. Is he the right guy? And in the 21 season, he wasn't.
Well, you know what gets me, as Armstrong said in the press conference, they want guys between 23, 25, 26 years old. Has Berube really been super successful besides Kyrou this year and Kyrou last year with a lot of young players?
Yeah.
He's really not. This is, when I read that, I'm like, this is strange to me, because Berube he said it before, he's more comfortable with veterans.
Yeah. Well, Bob, I want you. I get what you're saying. Look, Bob. No, I hear your guys' point of view. I do hear your point of view.
Yep.
He just is stubborn and sticks with his stuff.
Well, no, it's not that I'm stubborn and I'm sticking with mine. I feel that the evidence that I see supports my claim better than the evidence that I see to support your claim. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm right, and I'm admitting that. I'm just saying that this is how I see it. This is why I put so much weight on Brew. Yes, I'm watching the game. I know it's on, but we're having a good talk. So, as long as we got this talk going, I want to keep it going.
Absolutely. I'm just kind of watching and then listening.
Yeah. So no, and here's where it matters. It's the rebuild itself. It's the retool, right? If you're going to retool, you have to have a retooling coach. And I don't think that we have one coach on the coaching staff.
No.
That is a rebuilding coach, a retooling coach.
In tonight's thing, yeah. Did you notice in tonight's game how they talked about the reason Rick Tocchet took the job, not long term, but for 3 years, because he's good at rebuilding, helping teams get to a certain point?
Yeah. No.
Do you also realize that by starting a retool or, rebuild, whatever you want to call it, it shows if Berube fits it.
Won't win more than 5 games. I think they're going to go about 500 for the rest of the season, and they're going to end up somewhere between 75 and 84 points.
Not even close. This team, the teams that they're going to beat are Vancouver. They might beat, Chicago. They're going to beat the teams below them. They will not beat any of the teams above them. They're not going to beat the teams above them.
But it all depends on what happens in the next week.
Yeah, the trade deadline next Friday.
Yep. I mean, if he does go after a big piece, which I agree that I don't think that Timo Meier is a good fit, but I think that he could productively help us, make a shot for that last, spot in the playoffs.
Can I just say one thing? I haven't been on in a while.
There went they called it. They waved it off.
And I know that Panger mentioned this, but hey, if people think these last couple losses have been bad, I'm going to tell you right now, if Bennington hadn't been in the net for some of those games, it would have been really bad because he's played excellent, including this game.
Well, look at the game Grice played. We got destroyed. I mean, Grice has given up 4 goals a game. I mean, the fact that his GAA isn't 4.0 surprises me.
Well, in all honesty, Grice is still a good goaltender. I mean, I think that if it was Husso, we would have been even worse off than what we were with Grice.
Oh,
but
Walker threw some punches. Walker threw some punches. This one's getting a little feisty.
I also love Tucker.
Yeah, Tucker's starting to grow on me.
Go Tucker.
No, well, Tucker was getting into a scrap, and they kind of broke that up. And while they were breaking that up, Walker got into
I'm a
it.
leg, so I'm seeing the Tucker and whoever 92 is on them right now.
So they waved. There was a goal scored, but they waved it off instantly because someone was pushed into Bennington, and then Tucker started it, and then all of a sudden Walker gets into it.
Yeah, I'm seeing Walker now. Like I said, I got a good leg, like a minute.
Yeah, when you're watching on the app, you'll get that. Bryce also didn't have anybody behind him. He had if we had a decent team with us. Lance, I guess he popped out and come back in. If we'd have played the same way we played last year, this year, Grice would have much better numbers.
Oh, of course.
Right, but that's the thing. Bennington's and Grice's numbers were close to the same. Oh, I like this. This is good.
Mm-hmm.
You remember the old Foster commercials?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Foster's for beer, Australian for beer. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one there, Shockey. I'll give you credit for that one. That one's pretty good. Right? Delayed penalty coming up, so we're in trouble now. Bennington is, the game we played against game in Carolina was just plain wasn't as bad, but with the one in who did we get beat 7-2 to? Who was that just a couple of games ago? I stopped watching it. It was so bad.
I was asleep that game, so I want to say
Lightning.
No, it wasn't the Lightning.
Senators?
Ottawa, yeah.
Ottawa, yes.
Yeah, we got beat 7-2 from Ottawa, and that game, that was the first game after. Was that the first game after you really tried, or the second game?
The first game, I think.
Yeah.
Might have been the second. No, it was the second because the first one was the Carolina game.
That's right.
And they just did not. They didn't play.
No.
They did not play. Yeah. Marianne was at the Carolina game, and she said it was bad there. So.
Yeah.
Shaggy's back. Hey, Shaggy, we're having a good conversation, bud. What's up?
Always having a good conversation, bud.
Yeah, no, I mean, we've been having a good one. And look, I understand. You and me have talked, and you and me agree that we put a lot more weight on this mistakes on this season to the coaching staff than anybody else. Ashley has a really good, Ashley goes 30, 30, 30, 10. 30 on the players, 30 on Armstrong, 30 on Berube, and 10 on that. Hold on. Here's my issue, Guy, with the way you look at times. With 50, you say the defense is horrible. With Grice, you say he gives up a typical 3 or 4. You don't analyze it the same way. Actually, okay, that's a fair point. But I do and I don't. And I want to clarify this. I have said that the reason that Bennington's numbers are so bad is the defense, because you look at Bennington's and Grice's numbers and they're almost identical. Mm-hmm. That's why I put it on the defense. But then again, I turn and I do see what he says, but I'm blaming Grice for the 4 goals a game. But I also did say, I just say earlier, I mean, not more than 5 minutes ago, that if Grice had played, if we played the same way last season that we played this season, Grice's numbers would be a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So to me, maybe I'm trying to say that, but it's not coming out that way. Bob, does that make some sense? Maybe I'm just not saying it as good as I should.
I think you're just not being specific about it because Again, I don't think it's just the defense. I think that it is the defensive play of the team. So offensive players are in that.
Agreed. I will say that the defensive play of the team. All right, 13:27 to go. Shots to 31-13. The Blues are up 2-0. I will try and do better, and I keep saying it. I'm trying to get better. I really am. I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to listen to everybody and cover. Yeah, Bennington. This game has been spectacular, right? Bennington. This game has been spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
And I do blame the defense in front of Grice, but there was no way when Grice started against Ottawa, right? Because it was back-to-back games. There was not back-to-back, but close enough. There was no way that Grice was going to – I mean, once they started scoring, Grice just, no one played for him.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, I mean, that's the way I say it. The way we have been blustering them, I expected that fight. Yeah, that was probably coming. Either way, we can all agree Rangers suck, Shaggy.
No.
Okay, I'm literally not going to even start that.
Actually, yes, I did start Bennington tonight, but I had to start Bennington. I had actually told my league, so that we have an issue. So I have a league where we have 32 teams in my fantasy league, and because of that, we have a huge issue with guys that are not starting, guys that are starting, and so they're making it so if a guy is starting, you have to start them. Well, I'm coming back and saying, look, that right now, as bad as Bennington's playing, or as bad as Bennington's numbers have been, the Blues are playing, the Bennington's numbers have been, or as bad as you've been playing, however you want to look at it. Strategically, I may not start him, right? I may not start him. I may bring up a minor leaguer and put Bennington on the bench. That might help me. And so I just brought that up. But tonight, I started him, and I guess I'm getting lucky. Because I had Wedgwood, and Wedgwood's hurt, so that kind of.
I don't find that when it comes to fantasy, and you want to know like how good, who's the right person to start.
Is Randy mad at you, Ashley?
He's going to bed.
Okay, so you got to go.
No, I'll just stand here and talk in the dark.
No problem,
dude.
Go ahead, Shag. Sorry, man.
No. So I'll tell you, interesting enough that I find that when it comes to fantasy hockey points, and a person wants to figure out who to start, I am very into the idea. I have a friend of mine who introduced me to fantasy hockey, and when I was asking him, so what's the number one thing I got to watch out for? What's in football, you got to make sure you get yourself a good quarterback. What should I make sure I get out of this? And his answer to me was. Make sure you know how to rotate your goalies, but don't go ahead and draft your goalies too extravagant. Meaning you want to draft yourself goalies that will be good, but you don't want to waste draft picks on that because there's always goalies that will show up throughout a season. You know what I mean? There's always goalies that will show up throughout the season. Bennington's a guy that the team's going to play harder because they have what to play for now. You know what they have to play for now? They have to play for being able to get a spot next year. They want to, maybe some of these guys want to be traded. Maybe some of these guys want to be show that they still have stuff left. So, there's a reason why they're going to be better than what people think. They're going to be better. They're not going to look as stupid as people might think.
Yep,
Ashley, I don't know how many of you follow football.
No, so for me, in our league, our problem is we have 32 teams.
Okay.
Right? There are only 32 starting goalies. There are a couple teams that have 4 or 5 starting goalies. So there are teams that have no starting goalies, and then at the same time, there's only 32 backups. Right? So like I have
in hockey, though,
at one point I had 3 backups. Right? I traded one away, but I had 3 backups. So even in that, I was hurting other teams by having the extra backups.
Who did you trade away?
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's washing dishes, so I'll kind of move me over here. There we go.
No, I'm sorry. I'm actually going to be making stuffed mushrooms.
No problem.
Oh,
You're
he's
fine, man. I'm just
cooking.
trying to work things around.
Actually,
so
yes.
the visual, make
yes,
it a little
I
bit
can
better
cook.
visual. And I think the best one's going to be that. There we go. Let's kind of leave it at that.
I worked in the kitchen for.
Pennington's had some amazing saves tonight. Vancouver's had some very, very good chances. Right?
Vancouver's a good team. They play very physical.
This is the event summary. Oh, yay. Shots are 31-14. You're being outshot 2-1, almost 2.5 to 1.
What's the hits?
2-1. Say again?
Hits. What's the number in
hits? Blues have 21. Vancouver has 9.
That's why they're winning.
Yeah.
Because if you're looking at the way they like to play, they're a very, very physical team. They have big defensemen, Morrissey, etc. Yeah, they're a hard team. Sorry, not Morrissey. What am I talking about? That's the Jets. But no, they're a physical team. They're not an easy team to just run past. You have to face Bavilla in that top line with some Bessier. You think, by the way, the Canucks are a bigger failure than the Blues? I think they are.
Is Vancouver a bigger failure than the Blues? No, I think that the Blues are a bigger failure than Vancouver, but they're close. Right? I thought Vancouver was a wild card team.
What?
Okay.
It is 2-0 Blues, Ismail. And I thought the Blues were a division winner or second place.
Mm-hmm.
They're asking if you like the football, Shaggy. I don't think you're a football guy, are you?
I am a football guy. I'm a huge. I follow all sports. I don't follow XFL as much because I don't know their schedule and I don't keep track of it. And I'm keeping track right now of the hockey and basketball and the baseball preseason. So it's a little bit hectic to sort of now fit in XFL. That's my problem with the sport. That's my only problem because it's a little bit in the way of some other sports that are either starting or finishing. You have trade deadline now in the middle of an XFL season. You have baseball spring season, and you have basketball getting close to playoffs. So how am I supposed to focus on that and football at the same time?
Yeah, spring football, I get it. So Ashley is going to play
Okay.
producer right now, so you won't be hearing her. But she's here looking at comments. If she's got something, she'll comment in the comments. Right now, the Blues are on a power play. Shots are still 31-15, so just being outshot a little bit over 2-1.
Where do we got? Where's the game tonight?
Say again? I don't know. The Battlehawks were playing somebody. I wasn't in it as much.
Right. I'm actually gonna watch the game.
Ash, if you need to go, you need to go, girl. Okay. I don't need you having a domestic dispute over me. So if you need to go, you need to go.
Oh boy.
Oh, another stolid save.
Oh,
wow.
Man.
Oh no, he scored. Never mind.
Yeah, that was. No, I thought that was a save too.
It looked like it was. Oh,
I
playing
thought
the Seattle Sea Dragons.
I think he made that save. I almost think he.
No, I thought he made it, but no, he scored. It's 2-1. There went my shutout, and I didn't say it either.
Nope.
Never said the word. I needed it and didn't say it. And
well, the defense did not get back on that play. You could see he went down, but I don't know who was that. Saad was not playing defense on that play.
Yeah.
Saad just stayed lagging around. He didn't even stick out his stick. I don't like that about Saad. Saad, you can't be weak. I know you're a forward, but you can't be weak on that defense.
Got it in the corner. Yep. Shock sees the game really good. I like the way Shockey sees the game. I really do.
I actually want to work on that. I'm trying to figure out a way to sort of get better at my understanding of the game. Yeah. I played hockey for a long time. I do know how to play the game, and I've watched the game for a long time. But I feel like there's something I may not be knowing as much. You know what I mean?
For me, my issue is my issue is.
Give me the mushrooms. I'm
not being mean about your side. Well, okay, never mind.
Oh, we're not being mean about
getting yelled at, and I didn't even do anything wrong. So for me, my problem is I can see the game. I can see the stuff that I have too small of a TV right now for me to see it. I need a bigger TV that the game is on, and but the problem is I have a bigger TV, but it's not a Bluetooth TV, so I can't connect that TV to my board so I can hear the game. But once I move home, I'm gonna have a much bigger setup so I can really see the game and analyze it the way I'd like to.
The game actually happens to be watching on a big screen hockey. There is nothing like that.
I know. It's amazing to see it on big screen. When HD first came out 25 years ago, I always said HD was designed by a hockey fan.
Oh, 100%. You know what?
Right.
It happens to be in hockey in general. The people that really run the hockey world, really do a good job. It happens to be, I think, that they could do a little better on making it available for people to watch games. I think
that is something that they do need to do. I do agree with that.
They do need to do that. How would they do it? I can't tell you. I'm not an expert at that. But yeah, no, they got to work on that, especially because they have to expand on the hockey world, because they do some things that no other sports have. No other sports has the stadium series. You know what I mean? Yeah. The other sports are trying to copy it by doing games in Germany and trying to do other types of things, but that's uncomparable to doing the stadium series and things like that.
Look at this comment on the board by Robert Morton.
He was designed by the. Oh gosh. About who? Who's he saying this about?
Oh my goodness.
Who's he saying this about?
Oh my goodness.
About me.
Huh?
Who's he saying this about?
No, when I said that HD was designed for
hockey. Yeah. It happens to be that.
Right. So Ashley, this is the BlueNote fan report is Ashley. So he comments, that's how you'll see it. And I know you won't see it if you're watching on Facebook, so I'll throw it up there for you. No, for me, what I see, I do try and look at more like when I watch a game, I never follow the puck. I look ahead of the puck and behind the puck. Right? 10 foot ahead and 10 foot behind. That's the area where the play is happening. Right.
But when you watch these people, when you are like with fans who are not really like good hockey fans, or like, they may like follow the team, but they don't know hockey. And I'm watching games with them. I get so frustrated when I hear them making certain comments like, dude, why are you being late? Like sometimes you have to realize the players are playing their position or they're not specifically good at that. You have to really know what you're watching, especially in hockey.
Yeah, no, Ashley says this, she's kind of learned this from me. She watches with her ears.
Oh yeah.
And I've talked about that, like listening to the game, who's getting called, what players are they talking about? That's important too, to know how a player's doing. The other thing, Ashley has had the opportunity, I don't want to say the privilege, but the opportunity to sit with me for 2 games. And she sat with me in 2 completely different areas. In one area she sat with me, we were center ice, but we were up in this, at the beginning of the second level. And then the third time we were on the end, but way up high, right?
Way up high is not bad. Way up high is not bad.
I think Ashley realizes that the way I scan the ice is probably different than most people scan the ice. My eyes are constantly moving. Like when I'm watching a game, I don't talk to people. Right? I don't talk to people because the way my eyes are moving. You can ask. I mean, Ashley can tell you this. I barely talked to Ashley for 2 games. I had Ashley and Lance with me up in the alumni box, and when the game was going, I was focused completely on the game. I didn't focus on anything else. Right?
Well, it's when I'm watching a game, and I'm not like this with all sports, because like baseball, I don't mind the talking because it's a long, drawn out sport. In football, it's an exciting sport that's like sort of you have time between plays. The sports that I don't enjoy talking is when it comes to basketball and hockey, because those are constant action plays. Hockey, the reason why I also hate people talking is because most guys, if you're talking in the middle of a play, that means you don't know what you're watching. No jokes. If you're talking in the middle of a play, that means you have no clue what you're watching. Because if you knew what you're watching, you wouldn't talk. You'd be seeing how it works out. After the play, you make a comment to me. There's a whistle or something, and you say, look, they got to take someone off the ice. This guy's playing bad. Good. That means you're watching the play, but in the middle of a game to be able to do that, I don't know. I do not exactly appreciate that.
Anna Brennan, John Hefner, thank you for putting those thumbs in the air. Really quick. You got 20 likes tonight. Thank you. We have 13 people watching now with 7:31 to go, and the Blues up 2-1. Shots are 33-17 in favor of Vancouver.
I almost feel like I should take off my green screen just for that.
Oh, you're fine, Sag. I don't mind. I don't mind you having the Rangers thing up. You're more than Shaggy. You're as much. You're starting to become as much as a Blues fan as anybody else that comes on this show, and you know
I'm a hockey fan. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a hockey fan. I appreciate I appreciate all teams, except if you're a Bruins. Okay.
No, and again, you know, we try and have good debate on here, and you know, I fail sometimes, Bob Morton. I do, and I'm trying to get better. And you know, sometimes conflict is good for shows like this, and I try not to get too frustrated. And I'll tell you this, I mean this. I'm not sure what you mean by that one there, Ash. I think he knows that, Bob. I don't think that there's any issues, man, whatsoever.
No,
there we go. Hey, that's just for you, Shaggy. See that?
Robert,
right?
You're awesome. Awesome.
Yeah,
I love that.
well,
No, but I
know,
love that. I love that. Bring that on. I love competitiveness. Competitiveness is a very healthy thing to have. If you don't have any competitiveness in you, then you're not a sports fan. Okay, I enjoy a good sports talk, and if I don't agree with you, it's not because I don't like you or because it's a personal thing. It's because we're talking sports.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. I just got to get thicker skin, and you know, I hate that saying, but you know,
yeah,
I just got to learn. I just got to learn to. Anyway, if I'm going to do this, I got to remember that. I got to remember not everybody's going to agree with me. People are not going to agree with me, and it's not personal when they don't. And I got to make sure that I'm not attacking them when they don't. Oh man. This game's getting tight at 2-1 with 5:40 to go. The Blues have lost games like this where they've had 2-goal leads. They've lost them a couple of times. Marianne says, sorry for my mouth. Marianne, your mouth is more than welcome. You got to say it all you want. Shockey says competitiveness keeps the sports drive. I'm sorry, Ashley. I'm trying not to. I'm taking your job away. I'll just mention the comment, not personal, just sports. And I try and remember that, but sometimes for me, I do take it. Still 12-8 so far. Is that are the Battlehawks losing? Are they losing or are they winning? Annie?
I have no clue. I'm not keeping.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance. I haven't paid any attention to it.
I had a call. Maybe when the game's on.
They're losing.
The game.
I want this thing off. Can somebody cut this thing off for me, please? I want to gnaw my arm off. All right. Losing by 4. They're losing by a field goal and an extra point. I'm not going to do a long post game, guys. I mean, like 5 minutes, because once this game's over, I want to get back on the road, clean it up. Ash, you can put that comment up by Bob Morton. That's a good one. Also going to get. Now, where is it? There we go. Yeah, the XFL is designed to have a high-scoring league. Hey, that's the one thing, man. I really do enjoy defensive games. I really do. You know, I've seen 1-0 games in hockey that are boring, and I've seen 1-0 games in hockey that are incredibly exciting.
Well, it also depends on. I'm going to be honest here because this is stupid, but like, I think it also depends on stars. If you have like a Crosby and Ovechkin and a Matthews or whatever playing, and you have a 1-0 game, it's going to be so great to watch because when you watch these great players in games that are close and you watch how they try to like break down the defense, let's say the defense is holding them well. It is great to watch how they break things down. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's so if you really want to love like watching a great player, you want to watch some of these veterans just break down a game. Some of these guys could absolutely, you know, really, really break it down to a gorgeous, gorgeous amount.
Marianne, you're bringing up a point that really changed a lot. Yeah, I know season ticket holders went to the game, but it wasn't just season ticket holders. The Blues are one of the best traveled teams in the league. And this is why everyone was so upset that it took so long for the Blues to get an outdoor game, right? Because they are so well traveled, right? It took way too long for them to get a Winter Classic or even an outdoor game at Busch Stadium. I'd like to see them get an outdoor game at Mizzou. I think that would be really good. Or better yet, and this is going to really piss people off. I know. Wendy might like this. Think about, I know they've already played the Blackhawks once, but maybe have 4:45 to go in the third, bud. Ismail, where are you from, Ismail? Where are you from, bud?
No, the only reason why, by the way, before what they were trying to tell you is the reason why I was going to take off the blue screen was that people can watch me.
Oh, okay.
Not watching the game. Yeah.
Oh, Ismail's in Mexico. Well, welcome. Oh, I got a Mexican fan. Ismail, welcome, man. Absolutely welcome. Hola! Hola, my friend. Welcome to the Blue Note Fan Report. I'm Guy, the Y Blues fan, and this is the show that's by a fan, for the fan, and about the fan. Joining me tonight is my New York Ranger fan, Shaggy. In the dark, hiding, is my co-host, Miss Ashley Slapshot Jones. Normally, one of my other co-hosts is, oh man, I just went absolutely blank. Lance, the drop, the Scott, Ismail, you are always welcome on the Blue Note Fan Report, man. We love all fans, right? I have fans. That's the one thing that I need to really work on is getting more fans from other teams. Right?
Well, that's where you have to do. I'll tell you, I really wanted to do this with a podcast in general, and that's, you got to just talk hockey in general. You talk about you go through like the top news, you go through like just big stories that are going on, and people appreciate that because there's not, like, if you're not watching the NHL Network, if you're watching like ESPN or these things, they're not talking hockey enough. They're really, really not. I don't know why, but a lot of these things, they have very little hockey talk. You don't have a lot of like just hockey shows going on. I listen to like Michael Kay and these stuff. They're barely talking hockey. They're talking top stories about everything else in sports but hockey. And that's a little bit, I find that a little bit not nice in a sense, because I find that
no, ESPN's really, well, when once ESPN lost, they dropped hockey. They went from, I think they had 30 hockey analysts to 1.
Yeah, they
right,
really,
and that was Barry Melrose. That was the only one they kept. Right, Barry Melrose would joke at meetings, NHL hockey's here. Right, I mean, he would joke at meetings that the hockey department's here. And he was it. So I remember hearing about that.
No,
hockey's a great game. And you know what, Ismail, being a Mexican hockey fan, that doesn't sound weird at all. It doesn't, man, because I've got fans from all over the place, bud. I have people from Australia that watch this game. I have people from watch this show. I have people from Japan every now and then. Military will pop in. I have guys from Europe that will pop in. I get them all over. I've actually talked to Barry Melrose a couple of times. I was in a group with him, and he's actually a really nice guy. England, I have England. The Dutch Blues fan will talk to me every now and then. So I've got fans from all over.
By the way, notice that it's still 2 and about, what do we got? Like 2:10 on the board around.
2:02 to go. It's 2-1. Shots are 37-18. Vancouver has not pulled their goalie yet. But see, here's the thing: the Blues. You know how you win a game, a 1-goal game like this? You control the puck and shoot.
Oh yeah.
You control the puck and shoot, and they haven't, and that's the thing. Yeah, Justin says, well, of course they're going to be nice while their team is winning.
Nah.
Right. Borrego just made a nice little stop, but then he goes and did he ice it or throw it out? Hopefully. They're going to be pulling the goalie here shortly, so this is the time. This is the problem with St. Louis. They don't put this game away. You got to put this game away.
Well, they have the chance to now. I mean, the fact that they held them to only being able to pull the goalie till now, it shows you.
But it's still at 138.
Yeah, but you got
out.
138.
Okay,
138 is already 138 is where you're ready. You know you got yourself maybe 3 chances. If you send it out of the ice twice.
To me, it's not. See, that's to me. This is the flawed thinking in the NHL. Is you got to pull the goalie based on time? No, you pull the goalie based on situation, right?
Well, also,
to be honest with you, if you had a solid, I mean a solid, really good cycle going on. I mean a real good, like a 30-second cycle going on with 10 minutes left, and it was a strong cycle. I could almost see, and you had it, it was a short side, so the goalie's on your, the bench is on your side with the goalie. Why not pull the goalie in a nothing game to take a couple of shots, and if you do get a good shot and he's got to hold it, then you put the goalie back in. And it'll never happen because you don't want to give up that empty net goal. Actually, I found out something really interesting. In overtime, if it's 3-on-3, and no score, right? And you pull the goalie and they scored the empty net goal, you lose the point.
Interesting.
Right? I do. Bob, I think that's the absolute right play. I think you should always do that. Well, with the goalie pull, let's see what the Blues can do. Oh, see, right there, Shin, you should have just fired it away. You waited too long. Oh, I know it's risky. I'm not saying that it's not. Oh, just missed. Falk just missed from behind the goal line. But what they're doing is they're killing time. Yeah, we're getting the faceoff back, but you're killing time. Oh, Falk just fired it away. I wonder if Bennington will take a shot. It does burn the Blues sometimes, not always, but it does. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see City Soccer play. And Thomas wins the faceoff. There we go, and a little flip up. Waste more time. So that's what you got to do. You got to waste the time.
Thomas might be the best player on this roster right now.
Oh, by far. Oh man, they just messed it up. I don't know if Butch is, but I think.
No, but
I think Thomas is.
Stay healthy. Oh boy. Oh my gosh.
Ah, there you go, and it's tied. So worried about this. Jockey says it was offside. Let's see if they challenge it.
They're looking at it. I don't think it was. I don't think it. Yeah, they're looking.
Oh no, they are looking at it.
They are looking at it, but and I would look at this either way. But also, is that goalie interference on Kuzmenko when he came around? Is that goalie interference?
No.
Shockey, is that goalie interference on Kuzmenko? Look when he.
No, I don't think it is. I looked at it again.
No,
I can't tell who scored. It was one of the Russian guys. No, that's not goaltender interference.
That was Kuzmenko.
Yeah, more than likely be average at best. I can see that. Oh, that looks spooky, Ashley. I love that. They didn't challenge it, so it wasn't offsides. So, nope, no challenge. So good goal. So we're going to overtime. Here, 2-goal lead. Another 2-goal lead that we've lost. Another 2-goal lead that we've lost. It happens way too much, right? And they had 2 chances. They had 2 solid chances to score empty net goals and didn't. To put this away, and they may not even. They could possibly not get a point out of this. I said they weren't going to win 5 games, and I meant it, and I still believe that. I still believe that this team will not win 5 games the rest of the way. Yeah, Danny, I heard you say that, but I didn't look up. So if you look at the little thing I have here, I'm kind of paying attention to the game more than the screen. So, because Berube could pull the goal. I found this out, and it was so neat. If you pull the goalie and they score the empty net goal, you lose that point. You forfeit the point. So that's just an interesting thing there. I don't think that. Well, we're going to get the point, but we're not going to get the 2 points. let's say with 10 seconds left or 15 seconds left, right? We shouldn't be fighting for the extra point. That's the thing, Danny. We should have had the extra point. We've lost the extra. I mean, that's it. And we had a 2-goal lead and gave it up. Right? 2-goal lead and gave it up. So for me, I just lost what I was going to say.
Well, a 2-goal lead, the most vital part about that is that when you give up that 1 goal, I almost think that they should have called timeout. When they
they gave up that goal kind of early, though.
No, because I'm very into. I'm not talking about then. I'm talking about you take that timeout at the end of that game, at the end over there with a minute 38 left or whatever.
Oh, they did. Vancouver took a timeout.
No. I'm talking about the Blues possibly later taking a timeout. At a certain point, I think earlier than that, they should have taken a timeout. I mean, you have a young team. It's a teaching chance. You're up 2-1. You know that they're going to bring a strong pressure. I mean, to try to go ahead and give a little teaching moment. I mean, if Berube, that's another thing. I remember a playoff game with the Rangers. If they would have called a timeout, their players were tired. They gave up a goal at the end of a game after they were tired. And everyone said, dude, you had a timeout. You could have just called that timeout and given your players 2 minutes, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, when with the 138, when the puck bounced out, oh, yeah, they've been on tank mode for a while, Lismo. Armstrong said that he made up his mind back in early January, that he was basically December, that he was giving it. No, it wasn't on Benny. None of this game's been on Benny. Benny's been the star of this game so far.
I mean, again, giving up 2 goals a game is not. If I have a goalie that I know is going to only give up 2 goals a game, please.
It's on Bally. It's on Bally. Losing mode, giving it up. That's what they meant. Oh, the football game is on FX. The hockey game is on Bally.
We are Fox Sports.
Bally buying Fox.
Guy, we need to make you a somewhat of a theme song. I know you got that song at the beginning. We got to make you a theme song.
Yeah, maybe.
That would be fun. Come on.
I tried to get one. Yeah, shots.
You can make it, and you can make it like
19.
You can make it like a blues
almost 2-1. And you wonder how you're. I mean, it's. Oh, an entrance song for Ashley. Yeah, I wish I was musical. I tried to get somebody that I knew that was musical to do it, and he wouldn't. He wanted to charge me, and this was supposed to be a friend.
Wow, they've been really aggressive in this overtime.
Yeah, they need to be aggressive because in the overtime, if you're not aggressive, you're gonna lose. Right.
Pressure him, dude. All right. This is actually
I got to get a hold of Dante.
This is actually fun right here. I get to watch overtime hockey and cook at the same time. You can't get a better 1-2 punch.
Guys, I always have this song to play.
Alrighty then. Here we go.
Ow!
Mm-hmm.
How's that for a walk-in song? You know what that is, right? You know what that song is, right?
You played that for me. It's the background music to what's that movie? Yeah, you played that for me once.
Behind the Green Door.
Behind the Green Door. Dude, you landed up making me watch a movie I had no interest in, and then I've
actually seen that movie, so I'm bad.
I know, but yeah. I mean,
I've seen some of the classic ones. Let's put it this way. No, that's Ashley commenting. Ryan. Wow, we're gonna go to the shootout if they don't do something here. Oh, what a save! What a save. You know, if I was thinking about this with Colton Parayko this season, I would hire one of those I would have him go to like martial arts training or something like that. Get like a Mr. Miyagi that works his ass off and makes him, figures out how to make him mean, Or what was that movie? Anger Management, Send him to the exact opposite. That was the movie with Jack Nicholson. Not Jack Nicholson. I forget who it was, but it was Adam Sandler.
That's Adam Sandler.
Mad, right? Wouldn't get mad, and it was causing problems.
That entire movie, I'm like feeling like I want to get mad.
Don't lose this game. It was Jack Nicholson. Okay, I was right. I wasn't 100% sure. Oh, another pass out to nobody at nowhere. So I was right. It was Sandler and Jack Nicholson. Oh, wow. I mean, they're good. They're moving the puck. They're circling, but no one's getting open to. Oh, Parayko, why don't you shoot that puck? Oh my goodness. Yeah, actually, in her batteries at her smoke detector. Minute left in overtime. Barbashev brings the puck in with a little bit of speed. And loses it.
Yeah.
Oh, that was not good. Oh, that was not a good spot to lose. Oh, this scares me. This scares me. Oh, there you go, Barbashev. Pass it! Oh, man. Now we're done. Uh-oh. The pass was way too late. That was wide open. If he'd have passed it just a second earlier, that was a goal.
He didn't do he didn't do. He should have done a touch pass over there before.
Yeah. There we go. Game over.
Yeah. There you go.
Blues give up 3 straight goals and lose in overtime 3-2. Yep. And they had the chances. They absolutely had the chances. Well, so far I'm right. We haven't won a game since the O'Reilly trade. And this is one I thought we would win. We've gotten 1 point since the O'Reilly trade. And, we're not scoring goals. Since the O'Reilly trade, we scored what? 2, 3, 4, 5 goals. 5 goals in 3 games. All right. And that wasn't on Pennington. Everyone's going to blame him for this loss, but this loss was not on him at all. I mean, that's a hard, where did he go? Oh, yeah, he wasn't stopped. I don't know, Justin. I don't think it was. I think that was picking a spot. Start talking about next year. We've been talking about that for a while, my friend. Ashley says it was on Benny. And if Ashley said it was on Benny, it was on Benny.
Hello,
Ashley said it was on Benny. It was absolutely on Benny. We got 2 more people, John Penner and Marianne Holmes. Do them thumbs in the air. Thank you so much. Guys, I want to get back out and start driving. I'm going to call it a night. It's almost 6. It's 10-6 here. Jag, thank you so much for showing up tonight. I know Ashley's got to go to bed too. That's why I'm not going to stay on long. Thanks everyone for showing up. I'm Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, for Shaggy, the New York Ranger man, and Ashley Slapshot Jones saying aloha, mahalo, and we'll see you all again on the next Blue Note Fan Report on Saturday afternoon, St. Louis time. Aloha.
Hawaii Blues fan, we're bleeding blue with you. Let's go, Blues!